through this spout of warm weather that we've got going on here. And if you're a man, you're sitting in ball soup, and if you're a lady, then whatever. And if you're anything else, it's fine. You're just probably sitting there feeling very hot and very sweaty and very uncomfortable. But my guinea pigs look genuinely pissed off with the world. Anyway, we are the Too Much Time on Our Hands team. I don't know where we all are, but I'm going to say, Russ, give him a wave and a hello.
What's up?
Dan, give him a wave and a hello.
Hello.
Duncan, give them a wave and a hello.
Hello.
And I'm Tom. Hello. So this week we're going to do something that we haven't done in a while. We're going to kick back and listen to some news. We're going to chat about that news, and we're also going to catch up and tell you what we've been up to over the last month or so since we did this last one. So with no further ado, I'll hand over to Dan to kick off proceedings.
Well, let's start with the news that broke just before we came on to the podcast.
News.
That's a shame we can't do special effects lasers.
Just imagine they're there, innit? So Halo Infinite's been delayed till 2021. Series X will be November. Well, it's probably not necessarily a bad thing. That being, I'm getting very concerned about 343 Studio and how they're handling Halo games, though.
Have they sort of said why it's been delayed?
There is a statement.
Oh, let's have a read of the statement.
Okay, I'll
News
load
as
up.
It happens.
I'll load up the statement. God, just open the damn thing. Right. Today I want to share an important Halo Infinite development update with the community. We've made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to the development challenges.
Not a lot you can do about factors, is there?
No, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us this year. I want to acknowledge hard work from our team at 343 Industries. We have remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to development challenges. However, it is not sustainable for the well-being of our team and the overall success of the game ship this holiday. We know this will be a disappointment to many of you, and we all share that sentiment. The passion and support the community has shown over the years has been incredible and inspiring. We want nothing more than to play our game. We want nothing more than to play our game with the community this holiday. The extra time will let us finish the critical work necessary to deliver the most ambitious Halo game ever. Oh, good Lord, words. The quality we know our fans expect.
Dan, is your brain melting slightly?
Yeah, like I washed my hair probably about half an hour ago. Not only is it dry, but it's also huge.
Do you know what was genuinely surprising to me was I made this drink. I put 3 ice cubes in it. I turned away for what felt like an imperceptible moment. And when I looked back, there were no ice cubes in the drink. So unless they snuck out the door while I wasn't watching, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they
guinea pig stole them.
Yeah,
I think drive-by ice cube theft has been on the rise in the last couple of days.
Yep, I've just been grab some ice cubes straight down the pants.
Yeah.
So just quickly on the Halo statement, I would say that probably has something to do with the fact that on the launch of the trailer, the recent gameplay trailer that we saw at the Xbox live event,
it's conspiracy theory time,
was lackluster. It was the one that everyone was. I think everyone in 343 Studios and everyone at Microsoft was probably expecting everyone to go, "Oh my god!"
It can't have got the reaction they were looking for.
I think Phil after that ran himself like an angry bath,
really angry,
then threw himself in the angry bath, and then just like, get me Bonnie Ross. Is it Bonnie Ross at 343? Whatever. Get me 343 Studios. What was that about? Yes, that is the sound of running water in the background. Just make Halo better, or
it's weird.
Else.
Like everyone was sort of kind of saying,
in the water.
It looks good. It looks good, but in a sense, it doesn't look good. People are like, they've got the classic gameplay looks there. It's just the Chief that looks all good, but it does look like this could have come out on the 360. It's not even like everyone's expecting from Halo. Like Halo's got quite an old-fashioned art style compared to sort of more modern shooters. They're not looking for it to look revolutionary, but they at least look
sharp,
competent.
good.
this is meant to be on the new Slipstream engine. This is meant to be revolutionary. This is a new beginning for Halo, telling an old story with a new direction. That's the big thing they've been banging on about.
Yeah.
And that's not this. Like, the more I think about that event, the more I like it. But the more I think, yeah, Halo did look a bit like not 3 years worth of hype towards Halo. Am I excited about playing Halo? Of course I'm excited about playing Halo, but I do get the criticism. So if they take more time to make it better, whilst I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 all Christmas anyway, fine, go for it.
Do you think that also plays into it? There isn't the pressure to get it out before the holidays because, you know, there is going to be if you want to release something, you don't want to release it when there's going to be big competition in the sense of Cyberpunk 2077. So why not wait?
No, I think nothing. I think that
if Cyberpunk 2077 also was delayed, which it was, to make it better, then they've got that get out clause. They're going that Cyberpunk did it, we can do it.
This is what CD Projekt Red have done. Witcher 3 took ages to come out as well. So like they have their big thing has been it'll come out when it's ready. Whereas this was meant to launch the new Xbox.
And Microsoft will want a Halo to launch a new Xbox.
Yeah, like this is a big deal that this isn't coming out with the Xbox because now there's no, like, the two games that come out with Xboxes are Forza and Halo, and we've got neither of them for this launch.
Here's a controversial opinion, and I'd be interested to see what everyone out there in YouTube land to listen to the podcast as well thinks about this. I don't think 343 Studios have earned the right to delay a game. I really don't, because you get that if you're CD Projekt Red and you release Witcher 3 after a massive delay. You don't get that if you're 3D Realms, for instance, and releasing Duke Nukem Forever 12 years late. In the same way that I think that 343 Studios released the Master Chief Collection too early and ended up with a PR nightmare on their hands as they tried to claw everything back. And actually, I think there was a lot of pressure, and it's been in the works for a long time. And like you say, this is big. This isn't just serious for the Xbox or for Microsoft. This is actually one of those serious moments for 343 where they have to face some kind of reality and go, because when you release a gameplay trailer, you are effectively putting a line in the sand and saying, like, we are ready to show you what it's going to be like to play this.
If it had been like an initial teaser reveal thing, but it was kind of like look, this is how it's going to be.
We had the initial teaser reveal things, and they were amazing. So that first one where he's driving the Warthog through like the different landscapes and you see the different creatures and stuff, that was incredible. It looks amazing. It was like, wow, Halo's going to look like this. And then they released the gameplay trailer, and it's like, it doesn't look like that. That's what we were promised. Yeah. This fantastic new engine. And then you start to think, it's not that I don't think 343 have earned the right to delay a game, because God, if it's bad, delay the damn game. But what they have they earned the right to make Halo games? Might be the question to ask.
Well, that isn't. I mean, to be fair, I went half controversial. That is probably it. I mean, they are seen as the natural successors because they were the ones that did the anniversary editions.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, fair play. Like, they were very nice remasters, but they were. I mean, everything was there. All they had to do was make.
They didn't have to actually come up with the game.
Exactly. And actually, Halo 4. I think would probably still stand as the best 343 main entry into the franchise that 343 have created.
So the Master Chief Collection, it took 2 years, but eventually it became incredible.
Yeah, which is not a great record.
especially bear in mind that those games existed already.
Yeah, but like the way it was, they've done such a good job with how they've put it together. I can log on, and within 5 minutes, I'm playing my favorite Halo 3 multiplayer map with other people that are still playing it.
But bear in mind, they had to bring forward, as an apology, they had to bring forward creation of Halo 3 ODST as a bonus and give it away free to fans to keep things going, to add a little faith. They were bound to do it anyway. but
Yeah.
they had to rush it and bring it forward purely as a way of buying
'cause-
themselves a little
Loved
bit of
ODST.
respect
Anyway,
back.
Because for the first year, I couldn't log in and play any multiplayer maps. So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it was shocking.
yeah,
Shocking.
like eventually it kind of, I don't know. This isn't the beginnings that now Microsoft doesn't have a big launch title for release, which I don't think they care about. Here's the thing with Microsoft, that this isn't about console wars anymore. Microsoft are playing a very different game to Sony now, in the sense that it's all about Game Pass, xCloud. It's all about having these services, and this has been the plan all along, to just have these services in place. And if you want to play on the best console that in the world, then play on the best console in the world. Speaking of the console, Series S has been confirmed because someone leaked the controller, the new Xbox controller.
This is sort of absolutely no surprise to anybody, really, is it?
No, but Microsoft haven't launched this yet, but they still sent out a controller that says Xbox Series S on the side.
And it was white, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I assume the Series S might be white as well, which is fine. But still not sure what it's going to be. A less powerful Series X without the disk drive seems to be the potential.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's the same CPU, but less GPU capability and less RAM, and probably a few other tweaks and changes. And I think almost certainly diskless only.
And if you wanted further proof that these things are just PCs now, here's a less powerful PC that will run your games for you.
So yeah, it's going to be the
worst thing ever.
No, it's fine. It works for me.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you the advantage of being able to sort of choose a price point that suits you, and that I don't think they would ever allow any games to be Series X only.
No,
it will be, it will be cosmetic differences that you get between the games. Maybe a slightly lower frame rate, which really doesn't matter as long as you're getting a decent frame rate. It doesn't really matter unless you're an esports professional anyway.
I mean, gone are the days where the gulf between the processing power and general power of a console would present a publisher with the need to create two different versions of the game, like they did with Splinter Cell Double Agent. You remember there was the Xbox version, and then there was the Xbox 360 version, and the Xbox 360 version was a phenomenal game, with incredible looks and graphics and really nice choice and organic gameplay, whereas the Xbox version was very much a sub down version where a lot of the key choices and a lot of the open world stuff you'd be able to do was all rendered in cutscenes. And so you'd be like, God, it would be amazing to play this. Whereas, if you spring for the 360, then you were happy as Larry.
I think it's now, I mean, essentially what you're getting with the Series X is £1,000 worth of PC that will only run games, but it'll only cost you half that price.
Yeah. Well, it won't only run games. It will run all sorts of stuff, but it's all entertainment, media sensory stuff.
Yeah.
Which is actually something I quite like. I never ever use it, but I do like the fact that it has the capability. I love the fact that there's this monolithic black box underneath my TV that can do all sorts of cool stuff. It just so happens though that I have a Synology network attached storage that can do most of this stuff that a million times better, faster, with zero latency or problems at any point. Like there's no waiting for a Microsoft Xbox store to be contacted so I can use an app. It's just, oh, you want to browse your videos and stream them straight to your telly? Oh, fine. Here we go. Here's it just works. Like, it's, yeah. Oh, by the way, I've got a new Synology NAS and it's amazing. It's so good, man. Everyone needs a NAS.
So it's got apps and stuff, like proper ones, not just the weird, slightly hacky ones that you get on a lot of these things.
No, yeah, they're proper dedicated apps, and it's got full integration with pretty much anything that's connected to your home network is able to stream things in one way, shape, or another. It's
nice.
Pretty fantastic.
I've got one, but it's quite old. It's just a little. It's not like a smart one. I've got a Raspberry Pi tucked in behind the telly that runs everything.
But that's still quite. It's one of those like elegant solutions.
It works. It works really well for what it needs to.
Yeah.
But it only does. Well, it pretty much only does. Yeah, streaming your videos.
I've got everything running through my TV anyway. So
yeah, there you go. That's the other way to do it.
Well, I use the Xbox for everything else. So like iPlayer, Disney, Netflix, everything goes through the.
Well, I've got my
through
PC
Xbox.
running through my TV anyway. So,
Oh, nice.
right. Whilst we're going back to archaic systems, which is the idea of making two different games, two different systems, let's talk about Marvel Avengers, shall we?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh.
Is this the even more confusing DLC?
Oh my god! So let's start with the fact that you can only play as Spider-Man on the Sony PlayStation version, and their response was, "Yes, you can play as Spider-Man, but you need to buy a PlayStation to do it." Which is just, I don't like that already. I've seen videos of it; it looks pretty dull.
It's a bit crap, but Sony have got such leverage with the Spider-Man character rights that it's probably not much of a surprise.
They are holding on to that tighter than
Tighter
something.
than, yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't think of the suitable.
But wait, there's more.
Hmm.
So if you're a Virgin Media customer, you get exclusive Virgin Media skins.
Yes.
What?
I've always
sorry,
wanted.
Do you mean actual, like, dressed up in Virgin Media branded clothing?
Look it up. It is nuts.
Fuck off! No,
They're
who would
all in
want
red.
that?
Captain America, all in red with a giant red star on his shield.
Amazing.
Oh, that
Hang on.
a,
Avengers.
a Marvel in
Marvel's
financial trouble
Avengers.
again.
No, I don't
can't
think so.
possibly be.
Yeah. So there is, if in America it's Verizon, there's a limited edition Verizon character skins
Oh well, see,
pack.
I'd go for that. Verizon is just such a hip, cool brand that I really want Aspire to represent.
I love the idea of turning Captain America into corporate shill as well.
So what, they have like a Goldman Sachs one, and
Wait a sec, wasn't
Smith Klein
wasn't,
Beecham, yeah. Just-
wasn't
they're just called
Hydra,
GSK these days.
wasn't the evil Captain America, Hydra Captain America, didn't he wear the same colours as Virgin Media? Wasn't it just
No,
like
he-
red and dark blue?
and there's also an Intel one. So if you've got an Intel CPU, then you can get a specific Intel outfit.
That's
Skin.
so
Fuck
fucking
a duck.
pointless.
So on top of all this, then you've got so Spider-Man we've mentioned. Oh, there is character emotes that you can only get if you get a specific brand of bubblegum in America.
I have never once used a character emote in any game, and I will die before I do.
When we get to what we've been up to, I'll tell you what I've been using character emotes in, because it is the most fun game I've played in a very long time. Last of Us 2. No, it's
Oh God.
you're looking at
But
it
they-
now, yeah.
Yeah, they are terrible. Come on.
So I am not touching this game. This game has come on, it's the Avengers, we're going to fleece you for all the money you've got, you bastards, written all over it. I have no interest in it. I'll just watch the films again. So there we go. So
Fair
Marvel's Avengers looks like a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
What a shame.
It's like
Is the
it
actual
is
game
the-
meant to be any good? Nobody's talking about that. The actual
It's-
game, the stuff you do,
it's
wearing
okay.
your Verizon branded hoodie.
It's pretty bland. Like I've seen it. It looks like the graphics are great, but it looks, most things are like press X to lift this, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I
like-
sometimes quite like that in a game because if I haven't played it for a while,
watch
I'm
the
Captain
damn
America is
films.
always pressing
Yeah.
X to lift something. That's how he does it.
True. Yeah. This is cool. Have you seen about the D&D DM that has Homebrew built a wheelchair into her games and then shared it with everyone? And obviously 60% of the internet being dicks about it.
I had seen a few tweets about it as someone saying, well, of course there's going to be wheelchairs. There are
Yes.
artificers and gnomes are engineers. Of course there's
Yeah.
going to be wheelchairs. It just sounded like the most
There
sensible
are-
and awesome.
There are stats in that book for rifles, laser weapons, and
Yeah.
T-Rexes. I think there's
Yeah.
room for wheelchairs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or at the very least, mobility scooters, because those would be freaking awesome.
Let's I'll tell you what, let's make a game that is designed to make people feel included. That the very lifeblood of is based on people getting together and actually playing a game where they get to be in a fantasy land. Let's let people live the lives they want to lead in these, and if it feels normal, if it makes your life feel more normal to have a wheelchair in Dungeons and Dragons, go for it. Why
No,
people have
you know
problems
what?
with it?
No.
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 Why?
No, because it's ridiculous. What's a wheelchair doing in a fantasy land?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have
Yeah.
a bit.
What does
Dragons,
it,
fine.
how does it?
Ridiculous.
How does it
Ridiculous.
actually? How does it work?
There are rules, and I'll share them with you at some point if you like.
Imagine you probably get a bonus to how much you can carry.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I find it unbelievable, to be honest. Unbelievable.
Do people have a
that,
problem
like
with it?
Like
Yeah.
you say, like in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Well, it's
where
one of those things as
literally-
well that just like it doesn't
I was
affect you.
halfway through a point.
Yeah, I thought I'd just try and jump in there and see what happened. So
I'm
as I was saying, it's one of those things that just doesn't affect people at all. If you don't want to use it, don't.
So
It's fine,
she
isn't it?
has been awesome. If you,
Daniel.
Yeah.
Tom was actually trying to say something then.
Sorry, Tom.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You've
You've got to jump in there a bit more.
Or are you that side of it? Which side are you?
To your left.
To that side.
Oh, but the image is mirrored, so to your right, apparently.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Appreciate
there we
that.
go. There we go. Cheers.
So weird. So weird.
Make your bloody point.
my bloody point was it just seems utterly bizarre to me that people who play Dungeons and Dragons, i.e., like you say, the fantasy land where literally anything is possible and they have schematics for all sorts of things, including dead dinosaurs and laser guns, that a wheelchair, which is literally created by affixing wheels to the side of a chair, is something that people have a problem with. And like you say, I mean, there is that broader scope now, isn't it? I mean, I think lockdown has taught a lot of us that there are. I mean, it's taught me. I mean, I was dead against doing anything Dungeons and Dragons because I had this perception of it, and now I play it and I absolutely love it. It is a really nice, inclusive thing. I've met loads of really nice new people through it who I'm enjoying chatting with every Sunday night. It just seems utterly. It's like, are we the nice Dungeons and Dragons players? Are all the other Dungeons and Dragons players really mean and uninclusive and
I mean, just like
horrible
anything,
people,
it's a big cross section of people, and yeah, it turns out a bunch of them are dicks.
Yeah, that's the
Fucking-
best web. Yeah.
utterly ridiculous. I'm
Also,
actually
isn't there-
that is appalling.
There's a wheelchair in the first series of Game of Thrones, isn't there?
The
Yeah,
wheelchair
Bran.
was invented in
There
what,
you
the
go.
5th
Precedent.
century,
I mean, I
Yeah.
think
apparently. Yeah.
it's one of those things that goes back so far there isn't really an inventor of it because somebody not long after the wheel was invented, somebody thought this would probably be a good way of getting Fred around.
Yeah, and then lo and behold, millions of years later, you've got them with engines, you know, and 4 people can sit in a chair on top of a platform that has 4 wheels on it, and all those wheels are driven by an engine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fucking hell. Honestly, no, there are times when my faith in humanity is rocked.
Yeah.
You know, and apart from all the awful things that you see politicians doing, that you see people in banking and in the legal professions and stuff doing, obviously in the bad way. Obviously, if there's anyone who's out there who's part of that profession, I'm sure you're lovely. But it's when fundamental pettiness is the overruling emotion that people feel the need to express, that it's just almost nonsensical pettiness. That is when I feel like humanity is at its lowest ebb.
Have you guys
Because
been?
there's nothing
Sorry,
to
Tom.
gain from it. It's awful. It's just, it's sickening. It leaves a really bitter taste in my mouth. Sorry, I know I'm waxing lyrical, but it's
You guys
just
don't
it's
worry about it.
petty and it's nauseating.
Have you guys seen all the stuff about Abby from Last of Us 2? Because she's a muscular woman.
I have seen that, and I thought that was a utterly petty and
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've actually seen more of the comments, people saying, "Stop being ridiculous," because I only obviously attract on my Twitter feed only have people who support the same view of going, "Don't be a dick. Cool. What's wrong with this? Stop." Yeah, just stop being ridiculous, you horrible little trolls. And it was the same with the wheelchair. It was like it was invented in the 5th century. It, you know, there are records of it going back thousands of years or something like that.
But with that sort of stuff is never the point with these people. It's not. They might say it's about history.
Yeah.
This is the whole, you know, can't have a black James Bond. You can't have a mixed race cast of David Copperfield because it's not historically accurate. But it's not actually about that. That's not why they don't want to see those people there.
I think Abby is going to be, well, I haven't played the game, but that sounds the most accurate description. You're in a post-apocalyptic survival world. Do you know what happens in the wild? Generally, if you're having to struggle to do a lot of exercise and basically go out and survive and fight and get food like that, you're going to get fit if you're climbing over lots of stuff. So you're probably going to get quite buff.
But but she doesn't have the same fitness regime that she would have in the real world. So that's unrealistic. I've
Yeah, but she's
genuinely
climbing.
seen that.
All
Yeah,
those
she's-
male
yeah.
bodies in games are just so accurate.
I mean,
know,
look at Gears
everyone,
of War.
everyone looks like
I was
Dominic
about to
Gears of
say.
War. Or,
Can I just raise the
Yeah.
possibility? Can I just raise the possibility that maybe she's doing press ups? Because if they're saying she doesn't have the same fitness regime, firstly, as far as I'm aware, having not played the game yet, Abby is a member of the Fireflies, or at least what was spoiler Fireflies, or at least she's part of a militarized. Yeah, all right, she's part of a militarized group of some sort. Soldiers live and die on physical fitness and their ability to be almost a weaponized human. Basically, that's the point. They're meant to be fit, tough, grizzled. SAS guys don't necessarily walk around looking like Arnie and with muscle bound like steel biceps. That's not what a soldier looks like. A soldier is lean, muscular, usually the typical triangular shape because of, as Duncan says, the need to survive on rations that build you up with protein to keep you going. So you are going to have that physique, and the fucking. This is the thing as well. Do you remember when Jessica Ennis, or Baroness? I can't know if she's a lady. Is she a lady or Baroness? Or
I don't remember.
she's got some sort of gong, didn't she?
She certainly got a gong. People were saying that she was too muscular and stuff like that. It's like she's an Olympic
Fucking
athlete.
Olympic athlete. She might be. She's not
Like-
there to model for you.
She's a heptathlete, isn't she?
I mean, she's
Jessica
won.
Ennis.
She won, so she's probably just
Like,
right, really.
She's not just good at one thing.
Yeah, yes.
Like
She's good at 7.
10. No, 7. There you go. They're heptathlete. She's good at 7 things.
Yeah.
Good
Anyway,
enough, better than anyone else in the world.
There we go. It turns out there's some people on the internet who are jerks.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Speaking of jerks, Jared Leto speaks out for the first time on the new Tron movie that he's apparently going to be in, which is being directed by Garth Davis, who directed Lion. I loved Tron Legacy. I think it gets a lot of stick, but I really liked it.
It was a solid all right.
I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
It was very enjoyable. Actually, the soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yeah, the soundtrack was kind of what made it, to be fair.
Yeah. And
Like
I
it,
played
yeah.
a lot of Halo Reach with listening to that, and it was perfect. Anyway, sorry. Yeah,
Sorry,
you're
I was
saying.
going to say, I love Dan when you say that you absolutely loved something,
Yeah.
and then like, okay, I'm going to pull the Attack
A
of the
solid
Clones one out
20%
here.
of it, yeah.
Initially, you said it was the best of the prequels, and then I remember me and Sean went, no, it's not, and you went, well, it is if you remove 80% of it, and it's like, effectively,
Okay, fuck you
Oh, no.
guys,
No.
for starters. Okay,
Whoa.
we are not getting back into Attack of the Clones because that's the next half an hour done. Okay, but I will say that I still fucking love Tron Legacy. It is a film I
Beddies.
watched over and over again. It was a good hangover film.
Beddies, mate, you do you. I
do me.
I felt the same way about Iron Man 2.
I'll do Dan. Well,
Iron Man 2.
It's not the best film, but it's a great
Nah.
hangover film.
Yeah, okay, fair.
You were
fair.
half right there.
It's
Anyway.
not a film.
Jared Leto is struck with such gratitude for the opportunity to bring this movie to life, especially as both the original video game and film affected me at such a deep young age. Blah, 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 blah.
And I can just imagine him saying it as well. I just want to let you all know that
Well, I
I'm
just
struck
can't-
with such gratitude to be able to be in this film.
I can't imagine him being any good.
No.
That's where it boils down to, really. DC have had to lay off a number of members of staff, including editor-in-chief Bob Harras.
Well, that's never nice.
No, it's a bit concerning. I think they're lining up to be sold. It seems to be the general feeling. Interesting.
Funny thing is, though, a lot of that stuff usually happens after or just as the merger or acquisition is about to happen. Is
Yeah.
They start piling people out the door.
100%.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, they had another one of their live event things where they explain the different game paths, whether it's a Nomad, a Street Kid, or a Corpo. That game looks so fucking good. I know we've said it a million times, but that game just looks
It
incredible.
does look very cool.
Absolutely. And while Deus Ex may have done it first, I think Cyberpunk Cyberpunk 2077 will do it better.
I
I've
think
seen,
you're
And
I've
if
probably
you
seen
right.
had
loads of
that on your
people
bingo card,
whinging
strike
about
it off.
the corpo persona type, saying that why would you want to be like a worker for a company? It looks really boring. But I think that is one of the most interesting ones. It's the
Because
street kid
a
and the nomad.
friend.
We've seen that done
Fucking-
thousands of
You're
times before.
basically a fucking cokehead that's lost a ton of money, and you're being chased by like an evil corporation.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Like, it's
yeah.
not going to
Which
be
is it's
large
literally
portions
so
of games aren't.
Cyberpunk.
It's not going to be just you doing your job. Yeah, you
No.
work in accounts receivable. You got to be at your desk by 9 o'clock. You better get on with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
funnily enough, that's not how this is going to go in Cyberpunk 2077. That being said, I'm probably going to start with Nomad.
So what the first
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
60 minutes of the game is literally you sorting out.
I can
your
imagine it
inbox.
like
On Mavis Beacon,
like
yeah.
the bit in the Matrix where he's at his desk and the agents turn up. You can imagine
Yeah.
it sort of being that kind of a vibe. Like
That's fucking awesome.
there's someone here to see you.
Yeah.
So something obviously happens to you.
Well, even if it goes a bit Wolf of Wall Street and you're pushing blow into a hooker's arsehole, like that's
Fucking hell.
it's a start, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
That would be a hell of an opening visual from a first-person perspective.
No, he's not pushing it; he's blowing it into whatever.
Oh, that makes all the
Have you not seen Wolf of Wall Street? Oh, okay, cool. Moving on. Family of Carol Baskin's missing husbands offered $100,000 for info about disappearance. I'll tell you what, Carol, if you want to earn some money.
Did you see the video of Carol Back? She does like a cameo thing, and
Yes.
she's got a video of her saying "Happy Birthday" to Jimmy Savile.
I don't know. No, it's Rolf Harris, and I know your friend Jimmy Savile. That was it. Like, yes, it's unreal. So anyway, yeah,
unbelievable.
It's
yeah.
so weird.
Everyone's watched Tiger King now, haven't they?
Mhm.
I know that was
think
at the start of the
literally everybody
lockdown.
has.
Yeah, but yeah. Did you say you haven't watched it?
No, I just
Mm.
I tried to, and Emma was like, "What the?" So we didn't.
That's what made me keep coming back to it. Has everyone seen? Moving on then. Has everyone seen the giant Gundam robot?
Yes.
I haven't looked at the 60-foot giant Gundam robot. I should have done after hearing about
Last
it.
podcast.
Yeah, because
Mm.
I love Gundam Wing.
What is this?
So there's a 60-foot live
Just wow, beat.
Gundam robot that can take steps. It's still
amazing.
supported by stuff, yeah. But it looks like a Gundam. It's the beginning of the end. Do we really want giant robots in
Hang
2020?
on, I need to watch it.
Like,
That is pretty cool. I
It's-
do love the look of those
yes.
Gundam Wing things.
until it enslaves us all.
Oh, that is so good.
I mean, the thing is, like, I agree with Dan here. I mean, at one point in lockdown, they were saying that murder hornets were on their way, like, and now they're a 60-foot fucking Gundam robot.
Oh, it's the actual Gundam as well. It's the original.
Well, it's not the actual Gundam, is it? Because it can only move at like 3 miles
Yeah,
an
but
hour.
you know
but
what
yeah.
I mean. It's what's his name? The main one. Not Harito.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, maybe.
It does look awesome.
It does. Yeah,
It does need a lot of help though.
Yeah, it does. But let's not give it that help, shall we? Because at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
but they're not. Yeah,
giant
okay.
robots. Yeah.
Yes, but it's meant to be piloted because in Gundam Wing it was
Yeah,
always a pilot.
actually, Daniel, I think you'll find it's not
Actually,
a robot.
they
It's
were
Actually,
piloted.
this is a mobile
not
suit.
piloted.
It is an augmented suit that fits around a pilot. It's
And
just not an
another
autonomous
problem
robot.
with a wheelchair in Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Just-
Another thing about buff
It does
ladies.
look fucking awesome. Just don't let those
This
Boston
is a-
Dynamics people get hold of it, because it will be ripping the roof off your house soon if they get near it.
Yeah,
It is
fuck that.
completely different from everything else, but I love it. I want one.
Cool.
I think it would look absolutely fantastic in your front
the
garden.
Cassian Andor series has been delayed,
Boo.
but it makes sense.
I'm actually, ironically, I'm actually okay with that being delayed if it means it's going to be better.
Yeah.
They
Diego
just
Luna will
can't. They can't make things at the moment, really, can they? Like, it's just not
No.
practical.
No, there's a global pandemic.
And
Oh,
although
but he
that
could do the Mandalorian because he wears a mask.
yeah, very different one.
But
But even the places that are making stuff, like it must be adding so much time and therefore money to how much it costs to produce these things.
Tell me this doesn't sound awesome, though. Diego Luna will reprise the role of Andor, which he originated in the 2016 film. The rousing spy thriller will explore tales filled with espionage and daring missions to restore hope to a galaxy in the grip of a ruthless empire. That's exactly what I want from a Cassian Andor film.
Yeah, and I want to see more, like, if we do have to have stuff set during existing time periods, I'd like to see more like day-to-day life under Imperial occupation.
just sitting there going, they're out of milk at the shop.
Well, no, because one of the things that the films haven't really done that good a job of is really showing why the Empire is so bad for the galaxy after all.
I mean, they did a pretty good job in New Hope when they start blowing up planets.
No, but like, we're just told that they're evil, and yeah, they do stuff like, yeah, they blow up the odd planet or whatever.
Planets, yeah, Death
But
Star.
We, for all we know, most of the people might
Star Destroyers.
quite like the government. So I'm sure it's not the case. It's just something we've not really seen much, have we? You see a planet from orbit getting blown up, but you don't see much in the way of day-to-day, the reality of life living under the Empire.
True.
Shooting people's
normal people.
parents because they want them
But
to
that's
come
not
and work
normal. That's not what's happening to everybody.
Stormtroopers.
That's not just
don't
that's
know.
not what just people's lives are.
for them. We don't know that though.
No,
do we?
they're not.
Emperor,
Well, I
who's
think
a
we're pretty
master
sure
of
that the
something
Empire is not
called the
going around
dark side.
shooting everybody's parents so that they come and work on their super weapons.
See, and this is the problem I've got with some of with the three new films as well, is that in the last film, Rise of Skywalker, where they go to that planet with the little technician guy, whatever, to fuck around with C-3PO's brain. Basically, like, it's almost like the First Order, like they move into an area and they just fuck everything up. I refuse to believe, like, even the most ridiculous empires that we've had rise and fall on our planet, day-to-day life has usually been relatively normal. I mean, we know for a fact from historical record that, for instance, if you look at the early Soviet Union, the peasants, the people who lived in the cities, they just generally got on with life and went out and did stuff. Like even the Nazis, man, like, Germany, like, they just went out and bought stuff. They went out and did things. They just, they holidayed by the sea and stuff like that. I genuinely believe that if they do, it can only go one way. It won't be cinematic enough because, like Dan says, it will literally just be people kind of going, I feel a bit of shit today. I think I might just stay at home instead of going to work at the death factory that the Empire have set up down the road. Just fuck it, I'll play Xbox.
That is kind of the problem, isn't it? That yes, day-to-day life under the evil galactic empire might be a bit dull unless you're someone that's actually doing something about it.
And here's the other thing as well that might just be a bit difficult for it, is that obviously up until the point we join, his name's Cassian, isn't it? Cassian in Rogue One, the rebels haven't won a single victory in 20 years of imperial rule.
But they really dipped their toes in, though, haven't they? Like, we'll try something. No, we change our mind.
Exactly. So basically, like, it's actually quite interesting, but I hope they don't get lost in the whole infighting and intrigue, because then the Rebel Alliance will look no better than the Imperial Court, which actually I think would make a really interesting TV series to show the Empire's Imperial Court. But we've already got Game of Thrones. Do we need Game of Thrones in the Star Wars universe? I'll take it. I'll take it in any lubricated hole that they wish to stuff for Star Wars.
Then why haven't you watched The Expanse?
I don't know.
It's Game of Thrones in space. That's exactly what you've just described.
Because it's better than that.
It's better than Game of Thrones.
Because it's one of those things. It's one of those things that I can't convince the wife to enjoy as much as I enjoy. You know what I mean?
Obviously, just watch the first episode because it does set a very good tone for the whole thing.
I've just realised I can do one. No, I can.
Oh, I can't do that.
No, I can't do that.
I didn't know I could do that.
Anyway,
I'm gonna.
Saved by the Bell. Do we want to talk about Saved by the Bell now?
Sure.
Okay. Are we ready for this?
Well, do you want to play the trailer?
Yes. Let's play the trailer if that's possible.
It is possible in a slightly shonky manner.
When I wake up in the morning,
this must be absolute gold for everyone.
Yeah, here we go.
You hearing it?
All the dances we had in this gym. Ever wish you could go back?
Sure do.
Learning Bayside is gonna change our lives.
Hey,
It's
buddy.
just
You're an honors English?
Duh, it's an honor to teach me. These Bayside kids weren't
I don't
exactly
like. I
raised
think
to
I
have
hate
killer
the
instinct.
new Zach
Kevin
Morris
Kardashian
as much as I
having that
hated
man
old Zach Morris.
He's still in their family.
It's
Is it just me or the seniors at the school really old looking?
Hey,
That's
Jamie.
n-
We heard you talking about the harvest dance.
It's just you.
That was quite funny.
I have some problems.
I have way too much on my plate.
There's a way to increase productivity.
Are those caffeine pills? At first, they're so exciting. And then it gets even more exciting. But after that, it gets so scary. And in the end, you ruin your girl group's shot at a recording contract.
What?
So yeah, there we go. There's
Looks
that.
shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just delighted that Mario Lopez still has work.
Mario Lopez has been doing okay. He presents like an American version of like the X Factor or something, doesn't he? He's on like daytime TV all the time.
So he's basically Dermot O'Leary, but
Just turn that off. There's something auto-playing YouTube video popping up there. I
Oh,
never,
chat to
I never
me.
really watched Saved by the Bell. So to what extent is
Really?
that? Yeah, not really.
Not
What-
that much either.
How many of like the old people are in this?
So, the guy who plays Zach Morris, whose name escapes me right now,
well, he's a lawyer now, isn't he?
he's in a show about lawyers. Yes, and
Yeah.
we're lawyers.
We're lawyers.
Anyway, yeah. So he's going to be in this. I think he is like a local councillor that they have to go to for some reason. AC Slater is obviously in it. We saw AC Slater. And then you've got Jessie. Her name was Jessie, wasn't she?
Jesse, yeah.
Then
Elizabeth Berkley. who
Elizabeth
was
Berkley, yeah.
in Showgirls.
In Showgirls, yeah. Dancing around it, but yes, that's where she was
One
also
of
in.
one of Teenage Tom's favourite films.
Oh my!
I wonder why.
We could do a whole episode on why Showgirls isn't the worst film ever. But yeah, and it's for other reasons. And
Carl
then
McLaughlin's hair, amazing in
Good point.
Showgirls.
then I think what's her face? What was her name? Tiffany Amber Thiesen's character. I've forgotten her name.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. I think she's in it. Lisa's not in it, and they didn't invite Screech because Dustin Diamond's not a nice person anymore.
Wasn't also didn't he star in some adult movies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
love to say that
Screech's
was.
powers, man.
I'd love to say that was the weirdest thing he did, but getting arrested for starting a knife fight in a bar on Christmas Day, that might have to be up there. It's like,
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But is it Joe Exotic crazy? That's the.
I mean,
not that
look,
far
we've-
off.
I think Dan's right. I mean, look, we've all been nude on camera at some point. So that's
I am
part
right
of
now.
balls.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm from the waist down. I am, yeah.
To be fair, my
I've never
t-shirt,
been nude on camera. I have always kept my clothes on.
That's
my
bullshit.
t-shirt, My
Yeah.
t-shirt actually ends 2 inches below the frame here. And then
Yeah.
I'm full on Winnie the Pooh from there on.
Yeah, same, except I'm tucking. But yeah. Anyway,
Well, there's
yeah,
not really much choice in this heat. It just gets stuck, doesn't it?
the problem I have with that Saved by the Bell trailer
Yeah. Yeah.
is that they are. I don't like that they're in on the joke.
Oh God.
Like, I don't like. So when they're talking about caffeine pills, and it's like, oh, but then this will happen, and then this will happen. It's like, oh God, no. Just
So-
like, let
so
us laugh at
Are,
you.
are all those things that she said things that happened in the original
Yeah, so
series?
Yeah.
Jesse got addicted to caffeine pills.
There was
which
one
actually
episode,
were,
yeah.
Yeah, they were toned down from I think the original storyline where they were meant to be speed or amphetamines of some
Yeah.
description. And yeah, they were like, no, it's gonna be caffeine pills. And like I mean, I've taken Pro Plus, but I mean, I've never really sunk to the depths that she did during that episode. So, there
Yeah.
we go.
Hmm.
Yeah, the problem with Saved by the Bell was that it
Tis
was a
was.
bit shit. Tis was.
Tis
Is
was.
that-
Who remembers Tis was?
is that it was a bit shit.
It was
So-
a bit shit.
Shit.
So you've really got to go full wet hot American summer with this if you want it to be any good. And it feels like they've kind of
try and do
half-assed
that,
it.
you've got to be better than Wet Hot American Summer, which
Yeah.
you will not be.
It's just fucking great, yeah. But I don't think they did that. Or you go straight and just treat it like some more Saved by the Bell, basically.
The other thing,
mean,
of course, of
things
this
that-
is if you want to watch it, you have to sign up to yet another streaming service.
Well,
Yes,
that doesn't help.
not doing
Why?
that.
Was it on Hulu or
It's
something?
on
Peacock.
Peacock,
Oh
which
yeah,
is the
Peacock.
NBC Universal one.
Which is why it said Peacock at the end. I didn't realise that was a streaming service. Sorry, I was
Okay.
paying
I'm
that much attention.
I'm guessing by this point Belding's been locked up for being a nonce, though, right?
Fucking hell.
Do you think he has a Tumblr account?
Yeah, almost certainly. Almost certainly.
Didn't Mr. Belding and Screech have a kind of weird?
Like a will they, won't they thing going on.
Yeah, it was a kind of weird sort of mentor protege sort of relationship, wasn't it? Like Screech would inevitably go to Mr. Belding, who hung around in the bathrooms a little bit too much for my liking. In a sort of a weirder Fonzie. That's weird, isn't it? Fonzie and Mr. Belding hanging around in bathrooms, waiting for high school kids.
Yeah, I mean, the only
Yeah.
difference is I think Fonzie's probably older, but it's just both's weird. So anyway, we're getting new series Saved by the Bell. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the idea of more Saved by the Bell.
No.
Who is the target audience for it? Is it people our age who watched it originally?
Yes, almost certainly.
I haven't watched it since the 90s, so I can't really remember.
So the other thing is, you just go full 21 Jump Street with it, though. That you just dive into it. Note to self: watch 21 Jump Street again. So
Like you can, and they did summarize what 21 Jump Street was about in about 4 seconds.
yeah, and then did their own thing with it.
Mm.
Yeah. Right. So what have we been up to then? That's all the news.
Well,
there
I
is
mean, you
one
just-
other.
Oh,
They're
oh,
bringing
sorry,
back
go for it.
Spitting Image.
yes, they
The
are.
new
I'm
series of
excited about that.
Spitting Image is going to be on BritBox, and some of the puppets, if you haven't seen them,
They're
look
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The Prince Andrew one looks great.
Oh my god, he is in so much
Whilst
shit.
we're on that, Sarah Cooper, the one who does the lip syncing to Donald Trump, she's branching out to doing Elon Musk and Boris Johnson as well, apparently.
Nice.
That would be good.
Oh, yeah,
I think
that's
so.
brilliant.
So yeah, what we've been up to then? Let's do that.
Okay,
Who'll
I'll
start?
I'll pitch in. I'll go.
Go on.
So I have to admit, I've not been doing a lot of watching stuff, although the missus and I did start watching Killing Eve from the beginning again, because it's a really good series. If anyone has watched it, I don't know if you guys have watched it. Have you seen Killing Eve?
We watched half of the first series until my wife started to find it a bit too stressful. But we might watch the rest of it.
Bear with it, because it really good. I'm seeing a lot of stuff. It's one of those those really good series where you see a lot of stuff that you didn't see the first time round. And then we started watching Umbrella Academy.
What, season 2?
Yeah, season 2.
I've only watched the first episode, but already I think it's a million times better than the first series.
Completely agree with you. That is exactly what I was going to say. The first one was a bit of a slow burn, but the first one, literally, it started it's really, really cool. The only issue I'm finding is that that particular series, when you've got a fan on, you can't fucking hear anything that's going on when they're having a quiet talking.
We've been having subtitles on the last few nights.
Yeah,
do you
same.
know, I think I'm going to stick the old subtitles on. And then some of the other bits of key stuff that I've been doing, I personally have obviously been tinkering in the garage with my motorbike when I haven't been riding it. I've been changing a few bits on it, basically just loosening and retightening bolts, because that makes me feel like a man. And also set up our new network attached storage, which is a rather geeky but very pleasing thing to do.
I adore doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it was so good. My dad brought over his own network attached storage purely so that he could move his music library, which of course, I have Sonos at home. I love Sonos. It's almost in every room. Literally there's one in there, there's one in the kitchen, there's one upstairs, there's one in our room, there's one in Vinny's room, there's one in my office. It was 2.5 terabytes of music.
Jesus.
So I am a happy man, being able to listen to all this stuff, because I've previously been having to live off that whole one Spotify account, and now I just have fucking so much music. Like, I don't really know what to do with myself. So yeah, that's awesome. Also, my dad put a load of family photos, family videos, and stuff like that on it as well. Like another terabyte of stuff on there. And it's just been brilliant to go through all that stuff. Like, so I've had a really, like, the last week, like since we set up the server, it's been great looking at all this stuff. Lots of memories, very therapeutic, and that is pretty much in a nutshell what I've been doing. Who's next?
Nice.
Who's going next?
Russ.
I'll go next.
He's above me on my thing.
Want to go and set up a new storage network now.
It's really good fun.
I was quite happy in here a little while ago setting up. So I've got like a little network switch that's got the 2 computers in here running through it and some stuff like that. And yeah, it's always, it's like when your kid goes, "Oh, can I help? Can I help?" No, you'll get it wrong. You don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Clear off.
Yeah.
This is not washing the car. No.
And you did that shit as well.
He really fucking did. I need to find time when I can wash the car when he's asleep or somewhere else, because he is terrible.
Of little to no use.
Yeah, like negative use. If you drop it on the floor, you can't start rubbing the side of the car with it. All right. Anyway, what have I been up to? So we're in the middle of we're sort of 2 series into rewatching Community at the moment, which I haven't rewatched for quite a long time. So it's great going back into that. We just watched the Arbed's Uncontrollable Christmas one, where they're all claymation, or sorry, silicone puppets with ball and socket armatures.
My third favourite Christmas special, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the first one, and then my favourite is the Glee Club one.
What's the first Christmas special?
The first one is when they challenge the guy to a fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've just finished watching the last series of Grace and Frankie, which is fucking brilliant. Really, really, really good. And we're also watching a lot of Queer Eye at the moment because it feels like the world needs it.
Good choice. Nice.
We watched. Finally got my wife to watch the last 2 Star Wars films as well. So watch those
what did she think?
couple of days. Broadly agreed with the prescribed opinions that we gave her. Her opinion on the last one was that what's his name, Finn, basically just spends all his time in the movie running around going "Ray" for no reason. That's pretty much all he does.
Observation.
That's quite accurate.
Yeah. So yeah, she wasn't blown away by the third one either.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. That's about
Duncan.
it.
Duncan.
Well, we've been watching Amazing Hotels Behind the Lobby, which has been really interesting. I mean, obviously, we live exciting lives. I'm sure we started watching something else, and I can't remember.
Something very sort of clandestine and slightly grubby about the phrase "behind the lobby."
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Actually, we watched the cricket. I couldn't remember. We were recommended something we couldn't remember, so we just ended up rewatching the cricket. I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, it is.
Need to watch
a bit depressing.
No, I can
because
imagine.
obviously it finishes, if you know anything.
Yeah.
But I'm on the UFO one, and I haven't finished that, but that is probably my favorite so far. That is really good because the way it's presented and the way they interview people, you can you know they haven't spoken to each other, so you know something, they've seen something, and it's really interesting. Like the different accounts shows that generally people wouldn't have been able to speak to each other to confirm stuff. So it is really well done. I've very much enjoyed the Unsolved Mysteries, but that's generally been when I've been looking after Phil, and if I want him to go to sleep, I put that on and he falls asleep. Though he did also fall asleep whilst I was trying to introduce him to New Hope. So I decided that 16 months is the time for Star Wars.
Probably a bit early.
Turns out that is the case. But New Hope, this is why I brought it up in annoying bits and shit bits in good movies, because there are some shit bits in that. Yeah, Lady and the Tramp. We had to watch that the other night because Emma was like, "This is my favorite," so we watched it. It's good. It holds up. Like, it is beautiful animation. It really is. It's just lovely to see that. Apart from trying to, I cut down a tree, just like a small one. Like,
Nice,
you could do it
nice.
with a small saw. And I've been doing, funnily enough, a lot of, well, apart from playing D&D and doing D&D research with you guys, which I've been really enjoying. I have been doing research into our special episode. Well, our next deep kind of, not deep dive, but serious kind of episode. And so I've been really enjoying doing that. Enjoying? Is that probably the right word? It's been really interesting, sort of like doing this. So we're going to be doing a kind of a COVID special, like a serious one, covering, because, well, we're not, I mean, this is otherwise going to be admin, but there's been so much in the last 8 months since this new novel disease emerged that, like, it's been so trickled that we're going to not try and cover everything, but if you've got questions, let us know.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
we're
going to have some special guests.
Yeah, so we basically know a load of scientists, so we decided to get them in a room, well, a Zoom room, and talk about COVID-19. We decided we're going to sprinkle in some vaguely serious podcasts every now and then. So if you have any questions, our man Duncan here is going to be leading the way on this one. So send us.
The three of us very much not knowing what the fuck we're talking about on this one.
Well, I think we might be some of the people asking questions.
Yeah,
because I have questions.
We are the lay people here. But yeah, we're very finger on the pulse here at Too Much Time on Our Hands, and we are a mere 6 months into this, so we thought it's probably time we had a look at it.
But it's one of the things that I want to do more of is just every now and then sprinkle in something vaguely serious. I'm not saying there won't be the odd laugh every now and then, but it's a very serious subject, obviously. So, what have you been up to, Dan? Okay, what have you been up to,
Dan?
What have you been up to, Dan?
Well, is that all we've got time for? Well, what a shame.
I have played a few games. I've played Ghost of Tsushima.
Is that good?
It's fucking amazing. Like, I need to play more, but I'm determined before I play any more of that to finish Last of Us Part 2. So I've played a bit more of that. It already feels like I've been playing it for about 4 years, but I'm from what I understand, I'm not even halfway through it yet. It's clearly a very good game. I'd struggle to say that I'm having a great time playing it, but it's clearly a very, very good game. Like, it's very well put together. It just feels incredible. But every time I try to play Last of Us 2, I'll go, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to play a bit of Fall Guys on the on PS4, which is a battle royale, Takeshi's Castle, Krypton Factor kind of game, where it's the last person standing wins, basically. So you go through like a variety of different mazes and things and challenges, and so they'll knock out like 12 people at a time or something, and then by the end it's like the last 8, and you've got to survive. And I came second, and I'm so annoyed. But like, it is so much. Tom, do you have PS Plus?
Yeah.
Get it, and we'll play together. It is so much fun. Like,
is it one of their free games?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yep.
Let me just have a look. Cool.
Yeah, it is incredible. Like, it's a lot of fun. Other than that, games wise, PC building sim. I bought that, didn't I? It was cheap. I've been playing the campaign, which is quite fun, which is basically take over.
There's a campaign.
There's a campaign.
I thought this was a game that everyone just downloaded it, recreated their PC, and then went, and left.
One of my favorite thing on it is there is a mode which teaches you how to build a PC. And my thought for that was, but I've already built a PC and I'm playing this game on it. Like, the people that are going to buy PC building sims are the people that have already built their own PC.
Yeah, I bet there's a fair few people who go through that bit and then realise that they've done a lot of stuff wrong when putting their PC
Yeah, I'm too
together.
scared to look at it. Scared to look at it. But it's, so the campaign is you take over your uncle's shack your uncle's business, sorry, and then you get sent PCs and you have to repair them. You have to order parts and stuff. I'm
Nice.
really enjoying it. We watched the community table read. It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh, cool.
The episode. It's really, really good. And then from that, we watched the Scott Pilgrim one as well.
Oh, wow.
Which is really good as well.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming thing that comes from it is I now just want to watch Community again and want to watch Scott Pilgrim again.
Watched Scott Pilgrim not all that long ago. It's really
so
holds up.
good.
So good.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing we've been doing is falling asleep to this. On YouTube, someone's compiled all Carl Pilkington's journals and monkey news in like 3-hour long YouTube videos. And so me and Sarah have been falling asleep to monkey news pretty much every night.
Remember when podcasts were like edgy and cool and fun?
Yes.
And then 15 years later, we do one.
It is still amazing though. So yeah, monkey news and then Carl's journal. And that's it, pretty much. I'm sure there's other stuff, but there's the big ones, I think. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I've written a history of an entire town this morning. That was fun.
I've also been doing a lot of watching the clip from 22 Jump Street, where they realised that Schmidt fucked the captain's daughter. Because every time I go on YouTube, that pops up, and every single time I will watch it.
It's so good. It's so good. It's really not that funny when you think about it.
We got given this. It's just child book. You cannot have that. Don't they know how much of a pervert Thomas is?
Salty as well. Salty all over his fucking face. Right. Sorry.
Beautiful note to end on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So there we go. That's the end of the episode. So we hope that you've enjoyed all the news and views and what we've been doing. Don't forget to let us know if you've got any news or what you think about some of the news stories, and if you've been watching anything that we should be watching, playing anything that we should be playing, and anything else that you want to share with us, please do hit us up on our social media feeds. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the handle @TMTOH. And don't forget to check out our sister pod, Theatrical Cut Pod, on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, they've not done anything in a while.
Well, they've not done anything in a while, but that's okay. And I just want to reiterate, as Duncan said, we genuinely know some scientists who are going to, on the future pod, discuss the pandemic that we're currently going through, their news, views, and opinions on that. So if you have any questions about the pandemic, anything that surrounds this terrible subject that we find ourselves having to live through, please do get them in on our social media feeds, or if you happen to be a friend of one of us, WhatsApp it. And on that note, we'll say thank you very much to all of our YouTube streamers who are watching us right now. If you're still there, thank you very much for holding in all the way to the end. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you very much for listening. If you downloaded it, well done. You've got it on the phone or whatever device you were listening on to it forever now, unless you decide to delete it, which might be a good way to save some space on your phone because they tend to clutter up quite quickly. What I like to do to allow easy transition or to delete things is to put a little bit of Vaseline on the end of my finger, and just allows a little bit less friction between your delete, play. It's all very useful. And on
How fragile are your fingertips, Tom?
And on that note, we will say goodbye to Duncan.
Goodbye.
Goodbye to Russ.
Cheerio, bye.
Goodbye to Dan.
Yeah, goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Tom. And on that note, let's cue the music.